Cut. Start over.
Welcome
Lots
to
of energy.
RSL Random Fan Podcast. I am a secondary host, Brennan.
I'm tertiary host, Tyler.
And I am a host, the one that's responsible for putting you all through this every week. But we appreciate you listening.
You brought chips to the podcast?
Yeah, I mean, why not be annoying?
I'm really tired.
Do you think they're going to love us if you're eating chips on the podcast? Oh, boy. Cut. Start over.
Oh, no, it's too late. We're running out of tape.
I call cut too much. I'd be a horrible director.
We're running out of tape.
Tape. Oh, yeah, tape. We run out of tape all the time.
Hey,
State-of-the-art, reel-to-reel
hey guys,
technology.
When do we get into the lineup? Let's take 5 minutes and get into the lineup.
All right, I hear it takes forever, but it doesn't really.
Did you see Zach McMath at the game? I did.
But he wasn't in the lineup.
No, he was not in the lineup. That was like our staple.
What was he doing?
Hanging out with his kid on the fourth floor.
Oh, the kid
I
was in
love
the
Zach
In the
McMath,
suite.
but I don't think he'll ever play another game for RSL.
Bomb dropped right there.
game? No, he might be our backup.
No.
You think Mason's better than him?
Oh, I don't think
I
it
don't know
matters.
if it-
I don't think it
yeah.
matters. I think...
I think he burned a bridge there somewhere with
How?
somebody.
Well,
There was some-
it's all speculation, and it's just a guess on my part. But
I think he'll work his way back and come back from the dead.
All right, well, let's talk about that at
Win the
halftime then.
game in
all
the
right,
playoffs.
let's get to halftime. Is it halftime? Who gets an orange slice?
No,
Let's
when we
start
get
with the
to
lineup.
halftime.
All right, we have the lineup. We have Cabral the Wall at goal, Catranas Glad, Vera Hidalgo, Ojeda, Anelli, Gonsalves, Luna, Markchuk, and Bereyev with his first start. Was that fast enough?
What we
Yeah,
just
that was
did
great.
last
And it
game.
was sufficient because everybody doesn't care.
You know what I thought when Beret was in the lineup? I was like, bro's going to score on his debut, and Bodie's going to pass it to him, and Bodie's going to win man of the match. I even said that to you, right?
Yeah, like a minute or two before.
Like about around the 9th minute.
Yeah.
No, it was like 7th or 8th, but it was really close.
I'm going to tweet that out. Bodie's going to be the man of the match.
Yeah, he's going to be the man of the match for the other team.
Oh, bro. Oh.
Series of unfortunate events.
All
Well,
right.
he
So-
took that touch. Oh,
we're gonna-
No, I just wanted to
Are
say
we diving
preface-
into that? Sorry.
We'll dive into that real quick. I just wanted to say I was really concerned start going into the game that Toronto would win. Honestly,
Really? You thought that they were going to win?
I did. I thought that they were going to give us a game because they're on a 3-game unbeaten streak. They had 3 draws in a row. I watched them against Miami, and they should have beat Miami.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that
were
game,
pretty
yeah.
good in that game.
And I thought, and RSL is just kind of in this weird place where we just do not score goals.
Well, we're finding ourselves again.
Yeah.
It's weird how we're doing that recycling of, like...
Every season we have to find ourselves.
Or,
Well, I think-
every other, yeah.
Well, key pieces left. We're still... At the beginning of the season, we had Luna as a winger. Now he's actually playing a 10 where he played for the U.S. Like, we're still figuring out the pieces, which is a little sad, but... Still.
And the other thing is that the teams have figured us out. Right?
Yeah.
You put a couple of guys around
Really?
Luna. Yeah. Put a couple of guys around Luna and then
That he can't dribble.
park the bus
We see it so differently, don't we?
And then counter.
and let Markchuk do whatever he does out there.
We did so well this game, though. Like, if you look at it tactically, we were getting into the right positions to have the right looks.
I don't disagree with that, but I also think that the reason we did is because Toronto let us.
Nah.
Yeah.
Fully disagree.
No,
Anyways,
like-
Tyler, what happened what happened, dude?
So I went and got a shot, and I'm like
Oh, dude.
Tyler is high as a kite.
disconnected. It says it was a vaccine, but I don't know, man. There might have been something else in that shot. I don't know if I trust my doctor now. Goals conceded 1 for RSL. Goals conceded for Toronto. Sorry, I was looking at the stat page when you
Okay,
said something.
okay,
to me.
what-
We had 23 shots, and they had
2.
2.
Okay, well, break it down. What happened in the...
Let's go to the first turnover or the first big point in the game.
The big Bodie moment.
The big Bodie moment, and the ball came in. Ojeda was back passing to Hidalgo.
Yeah.
And I heard some people say, why do you even do that? He should have sent it somewhere else. And also, Pablo tried to take a little bit of the blame off of Bodie in the post game, where he's talking about as an experienced player, you learn how to
that touch wide.
Well, not only that, but you understand how the fields play. You play on the fields enough. He says this one's sandy and bumpy, and as a veteran, you would take that touch and send it out instead of try and trap or whatever that Bodie did. And that's true. Bounced off him, and as the number 7 for Toronto,
Mr.
Corbineau.
Tight Shirt.
Yeah, Mr. No, it's not a medium.
No.
Oh, yeah,
I'm a
he likes
large
it snug.
wearing a medium.
He's a soon-to-be Tottenham player. He likes it real tight.
That's right. He likes it high and tight.
Number 7, and he did the Ronaldo.
Oh, dude,
celebration.
Really anybody in the MLS does a Ronaldo celebration, it's a little dumb. Like,
I kind of agree.
You're not at that level. Like,
But
no.
he's kind of an academy player that came up through Toronto, and then he left for a year and came back. So for him, it was kind of a big deal, I think.
Yeah, but you got to give it to Bodie. Did his best for the ball that it was given to him. I mean, that's Ojeda's ball was not the best, but like I think they were saying, it was the team. It was the team that messed up, and I was really impressed in the post game with Catranis. I'm going to talk about. I'm going to buy a jersey that says Catranis. I don't care what anybody
let's
says.
talk about it. What did he say that impressed you?
Well, he came in there. Well, let's talk about this after.
Yeah,
Wait, for the post game.
We can just do it like we always do, or this? Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do it like we always do.
Sorry, I don't know.
He was pissed off about the red card, and he was pissed off about a couple other.
Wait, there was a red card in this game?
There was a couple other fouls.
No.
That that the ref was really. I want to give him don't want to trash him too much, but it was a really bad showing as far as the officiating, and I think.
Yeah, I tweeted that out mid-game. Oh, X'd it out. Sorry.
But really, I mean, he's got 3 other guys that can help him, and none of that was being done. It was a lot of just.
Well, and I get why you didn't give the benefit of the doubt to Berea, right? He's a first-time starter, new guy in the league. Every time he's getting smashed by their center back, what's his name? Kayvon Long. And then roasted. He kept getting roasted by roasted. Mm-hmm. Those guys were knocking him around real good.
Yeah.
And I get why the ref didn't, if he didn't see it, didn't give him the benefit of the doubt. That's a Chicho foul. Chicho gets that foul.
It should be. Well, obviously,
it should just be a foul. But we're all human. So, but then the other person who didn't get any fouls called for him, it felt like all night, was Anelli.
Oh, dude, yeah. He was like getting beat up.
Rub the head.
So hard because I'm sitting in the fans, right? I'm sitting with the fans and I'm watching, and you hear "Ref, you suck" before the end of the first half.
Yeah.
Like that's bad. Like you should not be hearing that.
Uh-huh.
But dude, I don't even want to be like saying crap, but he sucked.
Yeah.
He was
It's okay. Go there.
bad ref. Like that's worse than Ted Uncle. Like Ted Uncle could probably been a little bit better, and that's saying something because that's a low bar. No offense, Uncle. But yeah, dude.
No
like,
offense, Uncle Ted.
I don't even remember what we were talking about. He made me so mad.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of stopped at the goal, and then we got off.
Oh, the Catranis thing.
But I thought it was a good goal on his part. It was a great play. He was coming in, which is kind of what Pablo was saying, even though they're not in. We can talk about that as well. Why do you ask players to do things that they're not comfortable or that aren't instinctive? Why not adjust how you play to how the players that you have? But anyway, though he was coming in, crashing, put pressure on, the ball pops up to him, makes a little move, and just gets around Glad. And
yeah, there was way too much space around Glad because Bodie had slid in and Vera was out on the wing, so he could have picked either side, right? And
Cabral was just hung out to dry.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
maybe maybe if
he wasn't that far from that though.
He was just right inside the corner, but he still almost got it.
So it was a good goal, and then after that, there was they just kind of
Park the bus.
Oh, Toronto. Yeah, Toronto did feel that way, but to RSL's credit, the first half, Berea's technical ability as far as off the ball is so impressive that it was making Diogo more successful and a bigger threat. And then even Mark Juke, I mean, in this game, Mark Juke even tried to take a shot outside the 18, which is something he should probably be doing more of because
to develop that.
He's not going to be able to get past a lot of guys at this level, apparently. It's a really, really impressive upper third play, but like the moments when it mattered, we didn't connect. But from my perspective, when I'm watching this as a coach looking at it, I mean, we could have came back. We could have came back by the first half. We could have had at least one goal by minimum. And a game as a whole, I think we could have really gotten about like 3 or 4 goals out of this game. So that's why I'm not too mad about this game. I am frustrated with the red card so soon, and just
and then when you go to VAR is like, you made a mistake. Or they wouldn't call you to the monitor.
But I want to know, okay? You can clearly see, without zooming in, without slowing it down, when he gets up and he twists, it's not jumping up and twisting down. It's literally twisting to get his legs out to then go, what are you doing?
Yeah, and I think he thought that he was raking him with his studs.
And he did just a little.
But he's just popping out. He's legitimately trying to get out.
But the only reason it hit his leg is because the other dude was holding him. Yeah. So how is that a red card? If that's a red card, so many other things in this league are red cards.
I can see where he was saying the violent contact, where he kind of did rake him, but it's barely a yellow.
Well, it should have been a yellow for the other guy too.
Yeah, and I think he did get a yellow. And
really?
Yeah.
He held up yellow.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
He did get a yellow.
Guess I missed that. So good job. You got one call, right?
No, he didn't. He gave it to Flores.
Yeah. So I didn't think he did.
Get one. Somebody probably got one for dissent. And I can see where he did. And then when it went to but it was nowhere near red.
No.
Nowhere near. I mean, it was, if anything, it's barely a yellow. It's more of a talking to you guys knock it off.
Mark Zook getting checked in the face, that's a red. And then now we're getting this.
Did you see that? The pro came out and said, although this is a judgment call, we would have preferred a red card in this situation with his
absolutely
his elbow up in his throat.
Andrew Wiebe, you don't know nothing. You see,
seriously,
watch Andrew Wiebe on instant replay. Oh, this is definitely a yellow. It's probably a good best. I was like, oh, come on.
Is he your buddy? Are you buddies with that guy?
They were until they flipped him off.
I just flipped him off. Sorry, Andrew Wiebe.
No, not Wiebe. I meant is Wiebe friends with the left back for Nashville?
Probably. I think they went to school together.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I mean, they went to elementary school together.
But, right, so there's that. Then there's this, where we get the red card rescinded, but it still doesn't help us finish the game.
And in the postgame, to their credit, Pablo did say he would be more mad. We wouldn't say he wouldn't be like blowing smoke. He was saying, they played well, they just couldn't figure it out. And now we're in a situation, is it a roster situation where we just don't have the players? Or is it
why?
Is it the coaching and adjusting your play to the players that you have?
So,
let's get down to
before we dive into that, just real quick, dude, I just totally lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something really
Don't do a podcast after you get your shingle shot.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh, why are you giving away my health history, bro?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's a HIPAA violation,
I'm sorry,
bro.
We'll edit that out.
He's 50 years old, just to let you know. So that's
go
a
ahead. I'm
standard
sweating. Go ahead. I forgot what I was saying.
I forgot what you were saying. What were you saying?
Why is it a roster question or is it a coaching question?
Yeah.
It's neither.
Okay.
So, here's the thing. When we look at teams in the past, we look at play in the past, we think of certain times where, as a unit, we are so good. Later in the season last year, we were so good with Chicho. We were doing this in the summer. The summer was great. All this mumbo jumbo.
We were great in the summer, and then the
end of the season. It kind of fizzled out. There were some injuries, and there were some other things. Right. But the thing is...
So the season there was not a happy ending to the season.
Okay, Tyler, can you let me freaking talk? Holy cow. Jeez,
yeah, Tyler.
Take a shingle shot, you old guy. So the big thing is the way that soccer is played, it takes time to develop an attacking play that is going to finish in key moments, specifically in the MLS. And what we're seeing is we are seeing the development of a team that is going to be scoring a lot of goals really soon. throwing in a number 9 is going to literally make us take a step back, and we're going to have a lack of finishing in other departments and not just that one player. That one player might be able to score goals, but everybody else is going to get pulled back because now they're going to have to get used to where his runs are, when he wants the ball, how he wants the ball, blah, 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 blah. I don't really think that in this starting 11, we need a number 9. I think legitimately we need to see if we need to be a 3-man back line or a 4-man back line. If we're going to be a legitimate 3-man back line, we need to go and get a right back. Because Catranis is going to be that false winger who's going to move up the field, be like that fullback that's going to just really run back and forth. And we need a right back that is going to be able to sustain a 3-man back line. Hidalgo is not that guy. And so that's why I really hate when I hear all this like, oh, we got to get our number 9 because we're not scoring. It's like, no, we are about to.
Can he grow into that? He's got
Hidalgo?
pretty good balls into the box. He's still young.
I don't think he has big enough balls to hold down his position.
So who's better?
Who's better? I don't know. Let's look at the market then. Because that's where we need to look.
out.
That's what I'm saying. We need to buy a right back. I'm not saying we need to get somebody from the bench. Nobody on the bench is that great.
There isn't
Quentin's good. Quentin's good, but he's more of a center back than a right back.
He's more of a center because we need the speed.
When your best starting right back is more of a center back,
right.
You don't have
that's what I'm saying.
Starting right back.
Because Quentin is a fabulous center back. He's so good. That's why I'm like, I want Quentin on our team for a very long time because he is an easy pivot out of Vera or Glad. Like, totally fine.
Yeah.
But that right back position is our Achilles heel, and that's a lot of the reason why we're not able to move the ball up comfortably up the field.
Would you say that this right back cost us this game?
No, I think what cost us this game was the fact that Diego Luna got a red card, and because of his popularity, everybody on the team thought that he was too big of a piece to lose. But if you were to fast forward, like rewind it back, before the end of the last season, Luna goes out on a red card, we're still successful because everybody still thinks we're a threat. But now that Luna is getting more hype and more like, oh, he's amazing, which he's always been amazing. But now that he's getting more publicity about it, we died.
Yeah, I think Luna has gotten dramatically better. But remember, I wasn't a big fan of Luna when he first came in. I was like, dude, he's reckless. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's getting lost out there. But you have to put him out there and let him make mistakes, and that's part of growth.
Yeah.
It just hurts a lot more when it's your right back that growth is trying to come from. Because if Diego Luna makes a mistake up front, he gets a red card or gets tossed or gives the ball away in the final third. It's not that big of a deal. But your right back makes one mistake in the center of the field, and now it's a goal for the other team.
Well, you're also going to give it, like, Ojeda, that was not a quality pass to a guy, and he had to cover his position. He had Glad right behind him, so it's not like he's going to step forward to take that ball. He's going to naturally fade back into his position to try to get the ball, and it was a bad bounce, and he barely, it wasn't even that far from him.
I know.
It was like 4 feet, yeah. So it's not really his fault. It was a team thing. But
it just compounds because Bodie did the last 2 games. He has had multiple. He's not the only one, but they have been highlighted. He has had bad passes and turnovers, and that was one thing I was watching this game, especially after the goal. And the longer the game went, 1-0. Excuse me. The tighter RSL got.
I just like watching his eyes because he's just literally just like
the tighter RSL got.
You could just feel it.
Yeah,
the pressure was building, and they were trying to get a goal. I disagree. I don't think there's goals to be found on this club right now.
What?
I don't.
Okay, tell me, you do not think Barea is capable of at least a goal a game?
No, I think not this year.
You are Tyler as Diego Luna. So, literally, Barea has so much potential.
I like Barea a ton, and I think he should start again. But I think he's young, and I don't know that they've figured it out how to put play these guys together. We have scored 8 goals in 9 games. We are on pace to score 30 goals.
What were the first 3-4 games? Who was our striker?
Yeah, we've got Ajago and we got
No, but who was the starter in the first games? Ajago. Guy's not fast. Guy does not have touch. He did score a few goals, though, right?
Yeah.
Then we had Piol back after his injury. He was faster, had a little bit more touch.
Better player.
Then you introduce Barea as a sub, and all of a sudden, Mark Juke can send the ball across and Barea can score it, or he can be behind a center back, get pulled. Like,
did he score 3 times and have them all wiped off, or has he gotten one?
Do you not see how awesome this is?
No, I do like it.
I appreciate your optimism, but I'm not seeing it.
It's not optimism. See, this is why I'm a coach, and this is why you need to just believe, because you don't stand on your feet. So, but really, I think with what we have right now, if nobody gets signed in this transfer window, we are still having the potential to win every single game. I would just wish that they would change out the right back scenario.
I think that's optimistic. I don't know. There isn't a right back to put on there that's going to make a huge difference at this point on the roster.
I get Aaron Herrera.
They're not.
Dude, make him sign a contract. Tell him he gets all the Chipotle he wants.
Bring him back. No, I think he's done.
I thought it was interesting in the post game where Pablo, he was asked about, are there goals to unlock on this team, and he was talking.
Who asked that?
I don't know. Anyway. It was a good question. It was a great
In fact,
question.
that's the first thing Pablo said. That's a great question. Thanks, Brandt.
He said that more than once. That's a good question. But no, I lost my train of thought.
You were talking about this goals. What goals could be had? Pablo was saying this.
Well, I thought it was interesting that he says, we need to get people in the box, and we've got 2 players that they aren't instinctive when it comes to getting in the box. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I got thinking about that after the next day. I was like, well, why are we've got 2 guys in Diego and Diogo, and you're asking them to do things.
They want to play a second forward. And
that is not instinctive to how they play. Why don't we adjust to the players that we have? I don't know what that is, but it seems like when RSL slows down, possesses the ball and works it around, gets people involved, that's when we are more dangerous going forward, right? So why have we not done that?
We absolutely have, because we've had one game when somebody who can maintain the space between our 10, our wingers, and our pivots is in the game. One time. Piol loves to run and be isolated. He's the only option. He's going to create something. Now that Barea's in it, you saw that Diogo can play. Diego can possess the ball. Mark Juke was able to do more things. Everything, because of the space between them, stayed so that they are a unit moving forward. But it's only been one game of that.
Yeah, and we're creating it. This is the classic RSL problem, because way back in the day, there was a guy named Chris Brown. It was before the guy that is known as Chris Brown was Chris Brown.
Gotten some fights with some singers.
Yeah, not that guy. Mm-hmm. Jason Christ's buddy, Chris Brown. And so Chris Brown was a player on RSL, and he was a forward, and he was so good at hold-up play, and he was good at linking up with his friends, and he was good at getting into good positions in front of goal. So we started to call him Dangerous, because he would get in front. He would get in positions. He never freaking scored, though. He could not kick the ball in the net. He couldn't head it in. He couldn't knee it in. He couldn't booty it in. He just couldn't get the ball in the net. So, that's great if that's your style of play and you have midfielders that are lethal finishers. But if not, you got to get a goal scorer. And I think we saw Chicho last year, and then we're seeing nothing close to Chicho now, and it's kind of making fans frustrated.
Well, we are great between the 2 boxes. We're very good, right? Possessing the ball at times. There's been a couple of goals where, they had 20, 30 passes. And even if it was the Nashville goal that they went down the right side, then they recycled back around. Mm-hmm. And then there was the ball over the top and then the cross in.
Yeah.
So there was some beautiful play, but I just don't think it's consistent enough. And they're really struggling. 8 goals. 8 goals in 9 games.
9 games.
We lost 42 goals from the roster from last season.
And they kept saying, no,
it'll come. We're not even going to score. We're not even on pace to get close to that 42 goals. We had 65 last year.
When did we get 42 goals?
2024.
Well, no, I mean, what I mean by that is like,
Who has our
when
goals
did we
now?
start scoring? Was it at the very beginning of the season?
Yeah. We were scoring.
It took a couple games.
We
but
were scoring
then-
consistently through the middle of the season, and then the shenanigans and whatever went off on the end of the season. But we had 65 goals last year, and we're on pace to score less than half of
So
that.
through 9 games, who's our leading scorer?
Jago.
No,
Is it Luna?
Luna. Luna has 3. Technically, Pule has 1, Markchuk has 1, Ajago has 1, and Gonçalves has 1. I guess they're counting league games on these stats because Forster scored in the Open Cup, right?
You scored in the MLS?
Just 1 though, right? Yeah,
There's
that's,
just a little band thing.
yeah. No, I love that. I love that. I love the celebrations, but if we can't score, we can't celebrate. And that's the second part is who leads us in assists.
Is it Diogo?
Diego.
Diogo has 1 and Dom has 2.
Diego has 3 or something.
We only have 1. Oh, Anelli has 1 and Katranis has 1. So we have 5 assists.
One thing too, I was watching Markchuk. Kind of remind me of Gomez, right? A little bit of chaos over there.
Yeah,
But-
which you want.
Which you want and you need. But at the same time, when he's over there doing what he needs to be doing one-on-one, there's nobody around him. They just leave him there to go one-on-one, and there's no support. It's like,
Right, but that's
kind of
that's
the
by design.
kind of, but
No, they want to kick the ball out to him, let him get around his guy, and then send balls into the box or attack the goal. That's the way we
Same
play.
tactics when we had Gomez, but
Yeah.
it just takes forever for them to get used to it. Gomez finally found a stride after 8 months.
Gomez
It took
Gomez
so long.
Gomez
23
played
was
better
so
when
long.
he was connecting with teammates
Right.
and
Yeah.
not doing the one-on-one. So I don't know why we're doing it again.
Well, it's about getting by your guy, right? Like getting by your guy and then working it in. Did you see the end of the Man City game? Speaking of getting by your guy,
No.
So Man City played one of those crimson teams, Villa or West Ham or Burnley. I don't know. They're all the same colors, so it's hard to tell. Anyway, Poku, that speedy dude, comes in at the end of the game, and that's exactly what they did every single time. Man City sent him the ball wide, and he just set his guy up, and if there wasn't a double team, he would just go at him. He'd either go left or right, or he'd fake left, go right, or fake right, go left. And he was getting by that guy left, right. Didn't matter. He was just getting by. And finally, they ended up scoring. He crossed the ball in, and somebody came in back post and tapped it in. So it's not tactics that aren't used throughout the world, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I get it.
Right? And if you go watch the replay, bro's legs are so ripped, man. He has these tree trunks for legs. And when he accelerates past that defender, you're like, oh my gosh,
Turns you on, huh?
that's world class. Well, in a soccer sort of way, yeah. So that's world class soccer right there, right? Anyway.
So anyway, first half. So RSL ends the first half down 1-0. And in this game, there were like 2 plays. There was the goal in the 10th minute, and then the red card in the 61st. And in between, there was just a lot of back and forth.
Katranis with a header that almost went in. Ojeda with his run strike. Mark Zook with another strike that was about to be a leftover. Put it in.
There
the box.
was a lot of shots. And
There was a lot of potential in this game.
There was.
Don't
and
sum it up in your negative mind.
There's a lot of potential, but none of it was near on frame most of the time.
Maybe
Well,
it was because I was drinking that I was so positive.
They
No.
didn't even have hardly any chances created.
No,
Hardly any.
They didn't need to.
Well, yeah, they were just sitting back, right?
Yeah, I think people have figured RSL scares absolutely no one at the moment. They look at the tape and they're like, They look at the highlights and they're like, these guys can't score. They got no one that scores. They got a DP that has some intangibles and does some nice things away from the ball and way away from goal, and then pops up once or twice. But to his credit, though, at least he pops up, and you don't need to pop up all that much to have an impact on the game. He just hasn't found that this year or last year. So what?
No, so right now we are 11 points out of first place with 9 points.
Hey, but at least we got points.
Yeah, even if we doubled our points, we're still not in first place. That's how good Vancouver's been this year.
Yeah, they're tearing it up. So,
But are we going to halftime then with that?
yeah, let's go into halftime. It's down 1-0. And let's go into halftime. Mr. Optimistic, let's see who gets your orange slice.
Boom, boom, boom.
Contreras.
Contreras, that's a good one. Yeah, I think. What about you, Tyler? Any orange slices to give away? You were stingy last game, I think. I don't think you gave one away.
I did not, but I'm going to go with Mark Juke. Dominic. I think he played really well. He was getting at him. He was trying a lot of different things. Variety of service was all over. I thought he was a quality player in that game. So, orange slice given.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, there wasn't a lot. I mean, there was a lot of effort. Contreras and Mark Juke. I mean, you could give it to Luna, but I'm not really. I don't know.
What do you think? You think I want to give this up to our newest sponsor, Kroger chips. For when you work a lot and you don't get much sleep and you try to do a podcast, grab for a Kroger
Chips.
Ripples.
original potato chips. It'll really bring the podcast to life and keep you awake.
It will salt your every need.
If you couldn't hear.
And they're actually better than the other ones. Those are really good
more
chips.
Buttery or something.
Yeah, those are really good chips. They're
Definitely not
Alicia's. They're Alicia's favorite. She loves them. I thought Berea tried. You know what? I'm going to go with it.
Tried.
I'll give it to Vera. I thought Vera played another good game.
I love tucked in shirt Vera.
Yeah.
I love Vera in general because, I mean, you need that kind of player as a center back. But, gosh, man, I don't know, he's starting to figure out his competitive side mentally. You're seeing him pick and choose his moments to be the Vera that we like or the Vera we don't like. He is becoming wiser. And I don't know if it's the tension around the waistband since he's tucking in his shirt, but you're seeing a better Vera.
Yeah. So those are our orange slices. And if you would like your own orange slice, reach out to us, hit us up, and tell us why you deserve an orange slice. We actually gave away our first orange slice.
We did.
Gabe Matson.
How do you get said orange slice?
He
like
reached
Gabe
out to me. He
Madsen?
says, "Hey, I love the podcast. He found us this year, so appreciate
Nice.
that promotional budget of $0 is really working out for us.
It's been up to tens and tens of dollars.
We're doing our best. We're doing our best.
It's really just therapy for us, right?
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
And it
By
makes
the
me,
way, I got to tell you how I walked a guy through after the game.
Okay. So anyway, Gabe reached out and he says, "Yeah, hey, I deserve
An orange slice
because I scored a penalty kick against Nick Raimondo."
What?
And he had the proof. He sent the video.
Nice.
Yeah. It
Did
wasn't
you go left or right?
He went to Nick's right. His left.
So you went left. Did Raimondo dive?
No, it was like it was a great shot. It was a laser. Don't want to talk down his goal. It was looked like it was like at the Meet the Team event at the stadium. Gabe was around 13, 15 years old. And I'm surprised he didn't sign a contract right there because he just rifled it in there, sent the video.
Hey, man.
So Gabe,
it's a way to do it.
we got he lives in Oregon though. So we're sending him a hat.
All right.
And,
we got international exposure, bro.
And some stickers. So if you think,
And also,
tell us why you deserve an orange slice. And if we deem you worthy, we will get you an orange slice.
Okay.
it shouldn't be that hard.
This
It
message
shouldn't be
is
that
for
hard.
Nick Raimondo. Just to let you know, I complimented your glasses, and you totally blew me off last time we met. Just want to let you know your glasses suck. Okay? I'll never compliment you again. But your ale's pretty good. He's got a good ale. Yeah. It's pretty good. He's a good guy. Whatever.
So, anything else we want? What do we want to talk about?
Contreras. So, Contreras. Post-game. How did you guys like Contreras' post-game?
Oh, it was exciting.
He was like, bro, bring it. Come on, bro.
Well,
Come on, bro.
He was
saw it, right? You saw that, right?
He was saying everything all the fans or people that really pay attention to the games were thinking.
Right.
The reffing has been so unfavorable of the true play of soccer that it needs to be said. And for him to just go up there and just be like, no, I requested to be here. Like, I need to speak. Like, that shows his character because you see it on the field. That guy, if there's something up he doesn't agree with, he's there, and he's not afraid to say anything.
What I liked about it is there wasn't any vitriol. There wasn't any venom. He wasn't, like, complaining and saying, we lost the game because of the ref.
No.
He was just passionate, and it was very focused. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like, woe is me. It was just fire and brimstone. And he did say, hey, we should have played better. We should have played better. We should have beat them 11 on 11. That's on us. I also loved how he said that I think somebody brought up a mistake from Bodie or mistake. And he said, it was a team. Team. So, yeah, I really like that. I think that shows that the club is still together. Mm-hmm. And it hasn't. But you can see that pressure is building a little bit. But that's just during the game. Frustration can build. But I loved what Catranis had to say. And, he was kind of funny, too.
Yeah. I think my buddy texted me after the game, and he said, bro, it's just physically painful at this point. I can't even do this anymore, man. This is like the third VAR decision to go against us this year. And then he said, if only the net was 30 feet tall, we would have been 8 instead of. So he had 2 complaints. We shoot high. And number 2, that we, can't pull a win together.
So anything else for halftime?
Wasn't there something else?
We can always come back to it. We'll come back to it.
That's okay. We're not even going to pay attention to the second half, are we?
Well, I think we should talk about it a little bit.
Didn't the red card happen in the second half?
Let's talk about the red card. And everybody's seen it. We talked about it, But I think the reason and this is the part that may be the most damning when it comes to Dimonchek or whatever, Sergey, whatever his name was, the ref, is that it looked like it came down to ego. He was looking for a reason to keep his red card. He was looking for a reason to keep his red card.
That's a very bold statement to make.
Because he says there was violent contact, and I think he just saw that little rake that.
But the other dude caused the rake. That's the.
I know, but he was just
dumbest part.
He was looking for a reason to keep the red instead of saying, "Hey, you know what?"
Right. For those of you on video, we're going to do a quick demonstration. Brandt is going to elbow me in the throat. It's going to be awesome. Okay? So if you come into me like this, and you're like mid-chest, okay, I'm going to adjust the mic. So you come into me like this, your arm's here, and I hit your arm up here, and I take it in the throat, right? Whose fault is that? Should he get a more strict card now because I punched his arm up into my own throat?
No.
Right. So I don't love this, but I also get you don't want to set a precedent for retaliation either, right? But that dude headlocked him for a sec, let go, fell to the ground, scissored him, and nothing. Nothing, bro. Nothing. That's good. That's good, solid play.
I'm not sure.
Clean.
I'm not sure they actually took that into account for what happened before. I think they were only focused on him popping up and twisting his legs.
And yet they'll go back 3 minutes to get an offside call.
Yeah.
In the buildup of play. Well, I think that should have happened here. They should have taken a second to be like, well, the only reason his cleats hit his leg at all is because he pulled his foot down onto his own leg. It's his own damn fault, right?
I think, like I said,
we don't use that type of language on this podcast.
The only reason it didn't get turned over, I think, is because the center ref didn't want to change his call. He saw it originally, he was sticking with it, and you look at the video, and you can go and watch them talk about it.
You can?
Yeah.
Where?
On, I don't know.
MLS.
I was watching it earlier.
MLSsoccer.com.
And they were talking about when the pro ref, maybe on Twitter, they were doing the review on the Mark Chuk red card when they said, hey, it should have been a red. Mm-hmm. And you can listen to talk from the VAR booth, talk to the ref down there. It's really fascinating. You can see them really trying to get it right.
Yeah.
And I think with this one, I think they tried to get it right, but they left it up to the center ref, and he didn't want to change his mind, even though obviously it got overturned. That was the news today that RSL appealed and they came back.
Unanimously appealed by a representative from U.S. Soccer, Canadian Soccer, Pro, somebody else, and your grandma.
Canada.
I think your grandma was there, dude.
Yeah. So I think it just came down to ego, and sometimes, people are passionate. They're at what they do, and they didn't want to change his mind. And for me, I would rather get it right.
Yeah.
And say, oh, you know what? Because then when you do that, then you really develop some respect from the players. And they know that...
There's that other voice in your head, though, because now if you change your mind, you're going to think that you're vulnerable, that you've made a mistake.
Dude,
and so
you just saw it from 4 different angles.
Now those players are going to be like, bro, you got this last one wrong. Like, what do you think about this one? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of ridicule or fear that's going to happen with those refs because they're not rugby refs. They don't get any respect. So it's tough to be in that position.
Yeah, and from my point of view, I think if a ref comes in, because you want to get it right. The goal is to get it right. So if during the game, there's different angles, and then you saw what you saw, and you think it's a red, you think it's a foul, and then you go to the replay and say, okay, I can see how that my angle, it looks bad, but when you really look at it, that's not a red.
Okay, now have 20,000 people surrounding you, and then you have 22 very angry players on the field. Are you going to be this level-headed to then be able to make that calm, rational decision?
That's what makes a good ref, bro.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And that's why they're in the MLS, not the Premier League.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's a few guys that have made that jump, but not very many.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Chilowitz is over there. So I think that goes both ways. You want to be able to make good calls, but in the end, players also want to know that you are trying to make the good call.
Yeah.
And so now I think every time he makes a call, it's like, oh, he's got an ego. But
who knows? Maybe this is his learning moment.
Yeah. And who knows?
Change.
Maybe we've cycled through some rough calls and we're going to level back out because in soccer, everything evens out, right?
Tends to even.
Yeah,
This could be the low we're looking for.
We could be 6th and still win it all.
And yet we're 9th or 12th.
We're 10th.
That's okay. It's so early in the season.
It is kind of early, but let's talk about a little bit of the future. Do we finish up the game? We had 23 shots on goal.
Not on goal.
23 shots, 5 or 6 on goal. None of them really, that I can remember, really challenged the keeper for Toronto.
Johnson.
And the rest of them were just panicked. And at the end of the game, we were running the offense, and it was working. I mean, we were really dangerous. We were down a man, and we were really dangerous when Vera had the ball and was driving through the end line. And then they were trying to clip it over to Glad. I was like, where's our DP?
Shouldn't he be getting on the ball?
Yeah, so luckily we've got these striker center backs that can really get into the game. But when we were putting pressure on, getting to the end line and sending it back, there was a really good one where it ended up going over on the right side, and I can't remember who it was. Looked like the ball was going out, but they saved it, and they ended up having a point-blank shot saved right there on the left side of the goal.
Oh, wasn't that like the first half, though?
No, that was near the end. You were drinking. You can't remember.
I know, because once you drink, you just turn into an absolute...
Yeah, it's terrible. Don't
monster.
Do it, kids.
Don't do it.
Just stick to your Red Bull.
You will let your father down without even being around him.
Yes.
Oh.
Sad.
That's very true.
So disappointed.
We get used to it. So, Crawley, huh?
Wait, before we go to Crawley.
Getting there.
And your disappointment with each other's lifestyles.
No.
We'll move on from that and talk about
at all.
Mr. Tom Bogert. See what he was putting out there today. They thought they had agreed on a deal with Mr. What's that guy's name? Slovakia Bozenilk. But come to find out, RSL made the offer in dollars and he thought it was in euros. So they're still a little bit of ways away. So there was some confusion of how that translates. So
with the way things are going, when the offer was made compared to like today, like a week or two later, RSL would have to pony up like $200,000 more to come to that. But also, too, the crazy thing about, how do you say the club's name? Boa Vista or something?
Boa Vista, yeah.
They are notorious for not paying teams.
Right. In fact, multiple sources say that FC Dallas still have not been fully paid for Reggie Cannon transfer to Boa Vista in 2020. Dallas requests that RSL pay Dallas directly instead of giving the money to Boa Vista. The request was denied.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's really, maybe we should be looking somewhere else. But, yeah, so nothing has been finalized, and we're how far away? Is it the 23rd?
Today's the 22nd.
And the 23rd is the window
Deadline,
close.
yep.
Yeah, but how is Boa Vista going to get any players if they don't pay for any transfer? Later, he clarified and said Dallas have not received a single penny from Boa Vista.
There's other clubs as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how you can run a club that way and people still trust you.
Yeah.
Weird.
So we shall see. I think we need to get people in this window, and we'll see what happens. But well, let me ask this question to you, gentlemen: what happens if we don't sign a player in this window?
It'll be slightly sad because I think Robert Boznick wants to come here, and he's a scrappy 9, and I think he's going to help a lot. But just like Landon Donovan said, he's like, when you bring in one more player, everything changes. He's like, everything on the team changes, especially
dynamic.
if it's a big-time player.
Yes.
So we're going to have to kind of start over again.
We take a step back every time we get a new player. I was saying that, 30 minutes ago I was saying that?
Yeah.
That's why I hate it. Like, if we're not going to get, like, somebody worth the hassle of reworking everything, that's why I wanted more than just one player. But if we don't get somebody that we are willing to rework everything, don't get anybody. Literally, do not get anybody. The team is sufficient. The team is going to be able to make it work until the next transfer window. And probably in that next transfer window, we're going to change our gaze on what type of player we want. Because right now, we've noticed that, like, we were really Colombian, we were really South American, like, we were really trying to go down that road. Like, we're trying to make our matches on FIFA be 100%. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's either league or nationality, whatever.
Yeah.
And we were going nationality. And with this, with what we're doing, we're going Slovenia. We just went from, Poland. We got Mark Zook. Like, we're in Australia. We're all over the place now. We need to just be a little bit wiser with what we're doing.
Speaking of wisdom, the other big news this week was on Friday when Brennan and I got to go to the stadium and participate in the welcoming of Miller Sports and Entertainment to Utah
that
Soccer.
brings up such a good question.
Let's hear it. Go ahead, Tyler, first, and then get to Brennan.
Yeah, so we showed up. Greg Miller was there. His brother Brilliant was there. I've met him a couple times. He's a fun guy. Gail Miller was there. The governor was there, Mr. Cox. I thought he did a good
Funny
speech.
guy.
He's
Really impressed.
pretty impressive the way he spoke. The commissioner of both leagues were there, Don Garber, and I'm sorry, but whoever the commissioner is of the women's league.
Nice lady. Very nice lady.
Yeah, and
I
she's
did not
getting
catch
after
her.
it. But I didn't catch her either. And then who else was up front?
Steve.
Steve,
What's his last name?
the other Steve.
There were two Steves,
Yep. And Steve spoke first.
and then the son of Larry Miller.
Yeah. Yep. And so he was cool.
Oh,
and
and
he
Blitzer.
came over from the Jazz. Yep, and Blitzer was there. So Blitzer stays on as the second largest shareholder, forming a powerful partnership with MSC that continues.
Oh, please don't read that. Please don't read that.
Okay, so what I'm saying is they basically said that they are looking to start a full youth movement. They bragged about the junior jazz participation, and they're trying to get a youth soccer league started from the ground up, which I think is exciting because I think pay to play in the U.S. sucks, and I could talk about that for hours, but Brennan's falling asleep, so
I'm not falling asleep. I'm just incredibly disappointed.
you like pay to play?
No, I think that's putting a hamper on our overall like growth as a U.S. soccer. I mean, that's really you you see how much kids are actually having to pay at 12, 13 years old.
Yeah, to be on an amazing
They're
team.
spending about $5,000.
Yeah.
Just to be, and then they also don't cover traveling, going
Right.
to all those places. Like, dude, there's no way that I could ever afford my son to be able to play at that level. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have time to do it, and I can't afford it either. But the biggest question I have for this frickin' Miller thing, what are you going to do?
No, didn't you hear their plans?
No, I heard community, and then I heard community, and then I heard community, and then I heard we're not doing anything.
No,
Like,
they didn't say that. They said they're going to create a complex there with the whole...
That is so... I don't want a building.
No, not a building.
I don't want an owner that's looking to make Utah great again. Like, I want an owner that loves soccer. I want an owner that calls it football. Like, we're here to make football great. Like, that's the owner I want.
Yeah.
But no, we're going to give it to the Millers, so eventually the stadium's going to look like the movie theaters. Not that many people there, and half of the stores aren't even open.
I'd like to kick my feet up when I'm watching a Real game, please.
Like
Can you get me a recliner that heats up sometimes?
This is the
They
passionate
could get
Real
the
fan in me.
the rumble of seats in the game.
Dude, no, like literally the Real fan in me came out so strong. I never knew it was there. Like I'm a Man U fan and Real Salt Lake's fun. But like I literally had this humongous fear that it is going to hurt the club because I was so scared.
Because it's not about soccer, it's about all the other stuff.
It's all about, and then they were so passionate about the Royals, which is great. But I got a feeling that the Millers might manage the Royal side, and then Dave Blitzer's going to manage the Real side, which can be okay. But Dave Blitzer's not throwing in a lot of money, and he's not using all of his,
Did you catch
channels.
No, he said, one of the things he said was that I caught was he is planning on using his network throughout the
But that's what he
multiple
said
clubs.
before. He said that was next to Ryan Smith.
Yeah, well, that's
and
why
how
we
often
got.
did he do it?
That's why we got Mark Chuk, right? That's why we got.
It took him
Diego
that long to
Gonzalez.
get Mark Juke
Well, they did pony up and get Chicho, and they did start to pay
because
some.
somebody made a joke to him about him not spending enough money, and so then he bought Chicho.
Oh, Ryan Smith.
Yeah, and then based on how much we sold him for, that's not going to happen again. Like if you're going to short sell him like that, then they're not going to pony up any more money.
That sucks.
But I'm as a Real fan, no offense to Millers, I am very scared of this ownership.
I think you're absolutely right to be skeptical.
Yeah, I just don't want to be.
You would be.
I don't want to be. You know what I mean?
No, I think you should be skeptical. I'm not a huge Miller fan. The reason the stadium is in Sandy is because of Larry Miller.
Yeah, would have been downtown.
Would have been downtown. And who knows, maybe Dave Cheika sticks around. Well, the economy and there's other stuff. But I'm skeptical of the Millers. But if it's something, they wanted to buy it when the Millers or when Blitzer and those guys wanted to buy it. So they've been looking to buy the team for years, according to reports and all of that. So we'll see. I think all you can do is
Just sit down and wait.
take them at their word. And but I think that beyond that, I think there are a lot of questions on this club. We're sitting at 3-6 right now. We have a 3-game road trip, and it is not out of the realm of possibility that RSL will be 3-9 after this. We go to San Diego.
Yeah,
San Diego. San Diego's beautiful.
Yeah, in Snapdragon Stadium. And remember, if you see me there, I'll be wearing my random fan jersey. Come up and talk to me, and there is a chance I will purchase a hot dog for you. You got to spin the hot dog wheel.
That's how much money we're making on this podcast. I might buy you
Spin
a
the
hot
wheel,
dog.
and if there's 10 people there, I'm not buying hot dogs. It's like $400, you know.
I think every team's beatable, but I think going down the way San Diego plays, RSL doesn't score goals, and so San Diego likes to score goals. San Diego has almost double the goals we have already.
I bet you lunch that they win.
Real?
You're on.
Shake on it.
Okay,
That's against his religion, folks.
Somebody's going to win. So then they go from San Diego to Vancouver. Vancouver is tearing it up. And then they go to Dallas, and we're never good in Dallas. So,
what are you talking about? We just beat Houston. What are you talking about? We're doing great.
but that's not Dallas.
It's still the same state, same
So
humidity.
3 really tough games. We could be 3-9, or we could be
We're going to be 2-1.
we could be 6-6 when they get back. So
I think we get the first tie of the year.
Yeah, dude. Once
one.
we get that number 9, we're just the best team in the
and
league, dude.
whatever player they come in, it's going to be weeks and weeks and weeks before.
before they actually get on.
And then they have to go through
Imagine
whatever
us
it is.
just eating it. Just
They have to
like
go through the gauntlet of Pablo.
immigration.
imagine
and
him. He's just doing bicycle kicks. He's scoring. Everything's top bins. Like
And he's
we're winning
like,
4-0.
Yes, this season could get out of hand pretty quick. And who knows, they could turn it around and then fight for that last playoff spot, which is always what you want. So I'm
It's not always.
really concerned that they could get pretty ugly for a while. 5 of the next 8 games are on the road, and we play Vancouver twice in the next 8 games.
Well, we've kind of had Vancouver's number in the past, to be honest. So,
Well, they've sucked in the past, not today, not this year.
maybe we send them back to where they came from with what they're used to.
So
I don't know. But then we come home and play at Vancouver, at Dallas, home for Portland, on the road for Colorado, and then back. We get Vancouver back in the house.
look at the next 8 games. There are not any quality, guaranteed, competitive games where we're gonna win. It's a long stretch. It's a big slog. They could turn it around, like you said. Brennan is really optimistic, but I think this team hasn't proven until they can prove that they can score goals and not give up goals and be more than just in between the boxes. I mean, we've given up 6 headers for goals this year already.
Wow.
So
soft
there
in the air.
is,
Man, so if we had a good right back, that would probably help out with
It
all those
would.
free headers, huh?
Nice.
yeah, or another center back too, which somebody was saying all last year in the postseason, a taller, more
Was that you?
me.
Oh,
I
you
kept
were?
going on and on about center back and a right back, center back and a right back. But you're absolutely right. Right back, we absolutely need. So
And it's an early kick.
5:30 our time.
5:30.
Tomorrow?
You gonna get there on time Saturday?
I'll be there at 4.
And you'll see a whole bunch. There's be this giant white blob. There's 5 kind of big guys, right?
Yeah, 'cause you're going
only
with your
one
brother.
of us is bald though. I'm the bald one.
Are you going with your fam?
Do you have to?
Yeah,
Stay,
with
do you
the
have to be in
bros.
the middle the whole time? Do you
Yeah,
guys-
I mean, I gotta have security, right? I mean,
Well, one thing that's
can't
going to
have my
happen,
fans rushing me.
anything that happens during the game, just know him and his brothers said, hey, I think blah, blah, blah is going to happen. And just before it does happen, bam,
blah blah blah. There you go.
blah, blah, blah.
Right before that happened, guess what I said?
Boom. Exactly.
That thing, or
I
the
leaned
exact
over
opposite.
to my
One of
brother
the
and
two.
I said, blah, blah, blah.
I said,
And
this
then-
guy's gonna get a red card, and then our guy did instead.
Bodie's going to be the man of the match.
I know, dude. I'm getting it backwards lately.
I bet you, since you're going to San Diego, or wherever you're going, where you
Yeah,
going?
San Diego.
San Diego?
Yeah.
I bet you Hidalgo's going to have a great game.
That'd be awesome.
That's just how the world
I
works.
don't
yeah,
think he starts.
2 goals and an assist.
I think Quentin's your starting right back
Oh, I don't know. man.
in San Diego.
Yeah. Anyway, how's that promotion relegation thing working?
Oh man, promotion relegation. It's really great until your team's in the middle of it. Yeah, Manchester United has a very, very good chance to finishing right there, one spot above relegation. But
Yeah, we already mathematically saved ourselves.
I know you did. But they could still finish in, what is it?
17th,
17th,
whatever.
So Crawley Town, they went from dead to being resurrected over the Easter weekend.
Almost.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Yes, we are sitting. There's 2 games left, and we are 3 points away from safety.
Cool.
Technically 4 points. I mean, because we have to. Well, we've got a goal differential of 30, and where'd it go? Goal differential of 30 going up against Burton. We got to get 20th place is where you want to be. Burton currently sits in 20th, 43 points. Bristol Rovers right ahead of us at 43, and then we are at 40. We've got to get above Burton, but they have 3 games to play. 3 games, and we have 2. So
Goal
it's
differential.
30.
16 to 30.
Yeah. So we have to have more points to.
Oh, you need
Who knows? That'd just be horrible. Horrible to tie them and get relegated on goal differentials. And there's been so many games. There were 2 games. There was one game we were up 4-1, and we ended up giving up 2 points. There was another game we were up 3-1 and lost 4-3.
Oh boy!
So this team has no business being where they're at. But that's the game. You got to play all the games, But so we won on Monday. Did lose on Saturday. But 3 games, 3 points out, 2 games to go. So what you're saying, there is a chance. That's where we're at. We are at the Dumb and Dumber point of the season. What you're saying, there is a chance.
Reading was safe. Just wanted my few Reading fans that listen to the podcast to know.
And they made an announcement today or yesterday that they have found a buyer.
Agreed to terms with buyer over sale.
And they have extended to May 5th, and the buyer is picking up the tab on the cost for the team. So sounds like Reading is going to be okay.
Like there's a whole economic, crazy, Dai Young is the owner. He's Chinese. Mm-hmm. And China just cut him off because he said some stuff against him. So, that's why he has to sell the team is because he got pissy with the Chinese government. And they were like, oh, yeah, we own your – I mean, they're communists. So,
wow.
They took his stuff back.
And then EPL, Arsenal, good job. They're going to finish second. Again, Liverpool.
There's a small chance that they fall into third.
Man City's turning around. I can't stand Man City. Yeah. Nottingham Forest having a good season, sitting in fourth at 60 points. Newcastle and Chelsea are chasing them. And Aston Villa looks like one of the top 7 is going to miss out on Europe. It's going to be close. There's between Chelsea, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, and Aston Villa going to miss out on either Champions League or Europa League. But this year,
Bournemouth, Tyler Adams, our boy from Bournemouth, that ended up in 8th.
Holy cow!
Right up there right now. Pretty awesome for
Leicester.
Big team.
I heard Southampton and Leicester are automatically relegated.
Ipswich is done too.
That was a couple.
And Ipswich. That's crazy to me. How many games are left? Is it 3?
Yeah, and those were all the teams that got promoted.
And Ipswich is just barely. They're 15 points out with 5 games to go, so they are on the cusp of being totally toast.
So if West Ham wins 1 game, they're done.
Oh yeah, 1 point and they're done.
Yeah.
Or if Ipswich has to win every single game.
Yeah, regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one other thing. And it's just been awful. It's been so boring. The
Premier League race
this year. But I did want to point out that I was looking at the standings in the championship, and when my last year's man crush.
Oh yeah, Hull. Wait, no, is it Hull that he went to?
Oh, that's right. Oh, I was thinking of something else. Never mind. I was Middlesbrough because he came from Middlesbrough and then he went back to Hull.
No, Hull. He's only 20th.
They're not getting relegated though.
No, it looks like they're out. So,
but
my man crush, what's his name?
The Tree.
Crooks. Matt Crooks. Yeah, I was excited because I was watching the standings and I looked at it. Oh, Middlesbrough, they're fighting for a playoff spot.
No.
But then just right there, I remembered, well, he's not playing for Middlesbrough. Mm-hmm. But he was at Hull. Yeah. He's at Hull, and they are avoiding relegation barely.
Brendan Aronson and Leeds United are getting promoted.
They have 4 games to go, and they are only 2 points above the drop.
But they're so far from, because see, they're 94, right? Leeds and Burnley.
Leeds and Burnley are both getting promoted.
Yep.
Leeds back into the Premier League, and Burnley hasn't been there for a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
And there's an American, one of those football players, is part owner.
Yeah, the guy that used to play for the Texans with the really ridiculous long arms.
Speaking of
his
owners,
2 brothers that played.
Tyler goes, we're at the meeting, we're watching, and he goes, dude, where's Dwayne Wade?
I know, dude. I was really disappointed.
He probably has 20 grand in the club or something, just a small amount, man.
I thought it was.
I was like, imagine I would have been fangirling so hard.
Yep. So, a lot of optimism on one side of the podcast for the future of Real Salt Lake.
It's my coaching side seeing what I see.
He sees the best in everyone.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Except for no, I'm just kidding.
Except for Bodie. Oh man, that's why
No,
I
Bodie-
believe in Bodie.
Bodie is just that entry level MLS player. He's that 60
But he's still
to
young,
100,000.
so he can do better.
Young doesn't make it better, dude.
I think Bodie.
Lamine Yamal is young, and he's making great things out of it.
Who's that guy?
Who's that guy? Yeah,
He plays for Barcelona and scores goals in the Champions League just for fun.
Yeah.
By the way, Champions League is heating up again. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be good.
love Champions
You
League
gotta
right now.
stay up on
But
that.
also, guess who's still in it, baby? Who's still in?
Who?
Menu.
Oh yeah, they're not in the Champions League, but
No,
they're
no,
in
but
the
they're-
Junior Champions League.
Or Europa,
What?
Europa League.
Europa
It's
League.
not the junior.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Sorry, the discount.
Hey,
discount
trophy's
Champions
a trophy,
League.
baby. A trophy is a trophy.
It's
Put that in your kit.
it's,
Hey,
They
there's the
almost
dollar
lost
store.
it.
do they
but
have any
they
trophies
came
for
back.
second place? Do you put that? Do you just put like a printed out paper, second again? Is that what we do at Arsenal?
Yep.
They're not gonna. They don't get a big bus ride on top of the bus for second place, but they do get Uber.
Yeah, they kind of just jump in an Uber and run around the city, and they're like, second.
Imagine that they did the double decker thing where the first place team was on top and the second place was in the bottom.
And they gave everybody silver medals.
Yeah,
And the third place team got bronze.
and they're just in the back.
Olympics.
So thanks for listening. Tell your friends.
Hit us up for an orange slice.
Hit us up for an orange slice. You can check us out on YouTube. Please subscribe. Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever it is. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you like us, please share, but also reach out to us, and we will deem you worthy of earning an orange slice.
We will knight you with an orange slice.
Yes.
It's kind of like the hammer of Thor, right? Where you have to be worthy.
But
So-
everybody's worthy. You come up with a good story, we'll believe you. We're easy.
go.
Anyway, thanks for listening, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll be having great things to say about RSL being on a road-winning streak.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's go. See ya.